So don't overestimate and don't immediately go and buy most expensive platform. Try to think about use case and then select the platform.
Welcome to a new episode of our inVISION podcast, 5 Questions To. Our topics are image processing, machine and embedded vision, AI and metrology. My name is Peter Ebert, Editor-in-Chief of inVISION, and I'm happy to have you here for a new episode.
Hello and welcome to our new episode of our podcast. Our today's guest is Artsiom Staliarou, CEO of DAP Embedded. I will talk with him about AI vision trends, the importance of ISPs, and how to find the right AI vision platform for my applications. Enjoy listening. Hello, Art. Great to have you here in our podcast.
Thank you very much for inviting.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you here. And I'm quite sure some of our listeners do not know at the moment what DAP Embedded is doing. So maybe you could please introduce DAP Embedded first to our listeners?
Yes, for sure. Thank you very much. Let me introduce quickly myself and I will come to the company. I'm already about 20 years in vision business and designing vision system itself. I'm ex-Sony employee and now I'm driving a company that does production and designing of AI vision systems and machine vision systems in Belgium. So company is quite new and we have own R&D center in Bornen. It's very close to Antwerp. We also producing here in Belgium. So all our factory and production of the electronics and enclosure here. We also do the calibration of the cameras here. Today we have mostly focusing on AI cameras, but we would like to give a customer a completely set of products to get the video. So we would really want to reduce the pain of selecting camera, getting ISP calibrated, receive the data on the PC and so on. So we focusing on giving camera. We have also edge computing platforms and we have also frame grabbers, besides frame grabbers. So you can buy from us everything that you need to start working with computer vision and AI image vision.
Sounds interesting. So let's start with the first question. What AI vision trends or AI vision camera trends do you currently see in the market?
Yes, we see a lot of requests actually coming from robotics. It's, let's say, past couple of months, we see that trend and it's rising. And in general, trend is changed by AI itself. So as models became more available for our customers, they start making a business around it. And of course, when they see a business opportunity, they need a solution for computer vision. And we're learning together with them the markets. And that's what we see. Automotive is growing up. We see significantly traffic recognition, some agriculture growing up. We see drones also for various applications like chemistry, tracking gases and objects and so on, like security drones and so on. And also, as I said, robotics is really a big topic.
You mentioned it at the beginning. It's not easy to find the right platform. So maybe you can give our listeners some advice, or what should they consider when selecting the right AI vision system or the right AI vision platform for their future AI vision product?
Yes, for sure. First of all, before going to select the platform itself, I would suggest the developers or business owners who want to start a business to think about several physical conditions of the environment, because this can be very important for selecting most of the components. Like you need to think about lighting conditions, where you're going to shoot your video. It's at the outdoor, indoor. If it's indoor, how fast you want to process the data. Do you want to process 30 FPS or much higher? Or maybe you need a special sensor result because you're working in near-infrared domain. So please think first about physical conditions before you start selecting a platform. Then you need to think about lighting source if you need that. Because when you're working with a lighting source, you also need to think about environmental, because it might be sun outdoor that can destroy your part of your data from visual information because of near infrared, or because it also impacts on a lens selection and in a filter selection. Maybe you need a polarizer, maybe you need additional filters or bypass filters or cutting filters. Please think about your environment before selecting. Then next step will be to think about performance of your platform. So you need 30 FPS, you need 60 FPS. Maybe in your case, where you're tracking people on the street, they're not flying. So if, let's say, the environment, you probably need less computing power, so you can save your energy also there, because maybe you can run inference model for 10 seconds and it's fine because it's still be possible to track. So don't overestimate and don't immediately go and buy most expensive platform. Try to think about use case and then select the platform. Of course, you can run, and if you buy very expensive and powerful platform, of course, you can go down always. If you have a challenge of power supply, you have a battery power supply or solar panels you need to use. So always think about the pro and cons when you're selecting a platform. Another important point is when you're working with color cameras, please think about ISP. So image signal processing is crucial for color accuracy. And of course, because your AI model needs to work with the colors, it needs to be super color accurate. Because once you train your model on 10,000 images, if you change the sensor later, it might be also changed in image quality and also in the resolution, maybe in the color when you do the tuning. So you need to be super accurate. When you have already AI model trained, you need to be exactly in the same quality with the images, because you know it. Yeah, AI model needs to have the same image input. Otherwise, you will lose accuracy of the output. That's most of it.
A lot of things to look at. Do you help also the customers to find the right products, or do you help them with the ESPs?
Yes, for sure. We do the tuning of ISPs. Part of our products comes together with ISP included. So cameras that we are selling, like GNSL3 cameras, they have already ISP on board, the bypass ISP with MIPI out or MIPI ISP with Ethernet or USB out. So customers can select. But our benefit, we do pre-calibration in our office. So we have equipment for that. So the color accuracy, we can do lens shading correction, and give wrap of the lens. We also can create the coefficients for the wrapping of the lens. So most of the things, yes, we do. We're supporting customers.
You talked a lot about components like illumination and optics, but finding the right image sensor is also a complex topic. What would you recommend?
Ex-Sony employee, of course, we recommend Sony sensors, but we also in the portfolio have another types of sensors. Yes, of course, selecting sensor is important. It's a multi-dimensional solution, because from one side you have pricing, diagonal of the sensor. You have also responsibility of the how sensor can see the light on different spectrum ranges. So quantum efficiency I'm talking about. So all these parameters, we also can help if customer wants to by themselves select the sensor. First, please look which area you want to use that sensor. It's outdoor, indoor. Please have a look on the quantum efficiency graph, which frequencies you want to use. Also look on sensitivity level. It depends also. Resolution is important, because sometimes what we see is that customers selecting like 3 megapixel, 2 megapixel for their application. We normally trying to convince them to go a bit higher resolution, but you always can do binning mode or downscale. But then we can run inference, for example, 2 times on full image. And when we found the object, we suggest then to run an ROI area to have super detailed area. So you have better accuracy because you have all details in the place and so on. So there is several tactics that we can use to achieve a higher accuracy with the inference out.
I have to look at a lot of topics, and I'm quite sure it's good to have someone as you on my side if I'm looking for the perfect solution.
But by the way, what we do typically for the customers, we have 4 or 5 sets of like starter kits or starter sets. So we have like full HD, global shutter, rolling shutter. We have 4K rolling shutter, global shutter platform plus sensor. So you can buy a platform itself with an NXP processor on it, like IMX95 we're offering today. And we're offering different types of Sony sensors on semi that you can immediately connect and run, and you can get already video out. No need to think about all this calibration and so on. So this helps you to start with something. And once you have a video, you can already come to us or think about what you need exactly.
Do I need my own software for the smart cameras, or do you have your own software which I can use for my application?
Yes, we have our own software, but we're also offering a Linux SDK. So once customer decided to buy our SO modules or edge platforms, we're offering them Linux SDK they can run. You can use GuestStreamer or other frameworks to receive the data, and they can also write their own application using this SDK.
Question at the end, what needs to happen for AI vision to be used even more extensively in embedded or edge systems in the future?
Yeah, it's a good question. From one side, we need kind of more documentation and availability of the inference models for unexperienced people. I mean, so we have a kind of zoo for the models, but I think if like we're working today with Accelera or Halo or other accelerators, if we will have a database of different types of models available pre-trained, that helps our customers to already start a business with something. Because right now, there is a lot of effort we put to optimize the model for exact platform. And this is what our customers are asking. So they're asking to achieve like 90, 95, 99% of accuracy, which is extremely hard to achieve because it requires a lot of calibration. And of course, yes, we need to have a kind of platforms that everything is done for this. Like it will be nice to have the talking and acceleration platform. It will be nice that they will provide a calibration for certain cameras that we can connect immediately and work with them. The short answer is to simplify way to use that platform to reduce risks. We're using different types of sensors.
At the moment, AI is mostly CNN, computational neural networks.
Correct.
But large language models, vision language models are becoming more and more popular. Do you see this also as a trend?
Yes, we're using also LLM. Like for example, for food industry, for food analysis, we're using LLMs. We're asking LLM to analyze what is on a plate, but it's quite heavy in terms of computing the consumption of computing resources. So we cannot put that in a chip processor. So we need a quite expensive. But it's indeed that will be good if we will have a hardware that's capable of running of these large LLMs with so decent power consumption.
So at the end, what is your news product? What will be the next product we will see from your company?
We currently want to present, and also in an embedded world, the edge computing device based on Texas Instruments processor with automotive capabilities. It will be 8 cameras, input, GMSL3 cameras. It's multi-core. It can work up to 8 in parallel threads and parallel inference models. And we think it's good power consumption. It's about 20 watts in total if we run all 8 streams. For this year, we are totally focusing on giving a platform to work with mostly all Sony RGB sensors, security, and also automotive that allows to run with our ISP. So we're going to present the cameras that contains already ISP, because typically if you look on the market, or we need to connect to the platform, but if you using platform without ISP integrated, it's a bit painful when you want to use exactly sensor, but sensor has no ISP. So we would like to give the market the GMSL camera with ISP integrated, the bypass. So customers can use it.
Thank you so much for giving us this short overview about the actual trends for AI and smart cameras. And I hope I will see you at the Embedded World or somewhere else. Latest, I think, at the Vision Fair.
Yes, we will be on the Embedded World for sure.
Yes. So, thank you so much for being our guest for today. And bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
If you would like to find out more about inVISION, please register for our inVISION newsletter at invision-news.de/news, become a follower of our LinkedIn channel, inVISION News, or find out about our webinars at invision-news.com/Tech Talks. I look forward to welcoming you to our next episode of our inVISION podcast, 5 Questions 2.